my mentors, really. I mean, growing up with guys, in the Crusaders, which my brother was in that group. At that time, they were called the Modern Jazz Sextet. And
wow, this was before the Jazz Crusaders.
way before then, man. These guys. I mean, I used to literally from when school was out, in elementary school, go over to the Hendersons, because that's where they would generally practice, and right behind our home. And I would just sit in the corner and watch these guys practicing and playing. They were just teenagers, but I was the little ruddy kid, just absorbing all this. Sitting in the corner and just my eyes wide open and ears wide open and just absorbing everything they were doing, man. Because to me, they represented the community as far as music. And they ventured out and made a huge career for themselves, man.
Shoot, them cats had made a huge career in more than just doing the Crusader stuff. For those you don't know, those cats were great session players. The Jackson 5, the Love You Save, and all that stuff. The Sound Factory, that's Wilton Felder on bass. Let's Get It On album, Wilton Felder, Joe Sample, Dance Machine, Joe Sample. I mean, them cats, the Crusaders' career is one thing. But when you start looking at the body of work that them cats did, it's a whole nother thing. I just couldn't imagine. And Wayne Henderson, man, you growing up with them kind of, I could imagine how you were just affected. You just said it, but I can only imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great, environment, musically, and they were good role models for me, and and I followed their footsteps closely, and then I had other inspirational people around me, and my mom was. Really, she really disclosed and, put in front of us all different genres of music, from gospel to blues. I mean, my mom was a heavy blues, she person, and, we would wake up to that, but literally before going to school. I mean, we would listen to B.B. King and Muddy Waters. I mean, seriously. So, and then, that was, she appreciated classical music, and then she introduced, the real, legendary jazz figures like Ella Fitzgerald, Ray Charles, and B.B. King. Interestingly, my first debut as a solo artist was opening up for B.B. King. So you can imagine how I felt, listening to him as a kid, growing up on his music and having the privilege of sharing the same stage with him. That was my first debut as a solo artist, was opening up for B.B. King at the Coconut Grove in Los Angeles. 3 nights. I mean, that was unbelievable. My mom was in the audience, so you can imagine how she felt.